My sister saw someone in the mirror who wasn't there. I never told anyone what she did next because it was so scary. This is a true story from 2003. I grew up in a big home with my mom, dad, and 5 siblings. Our house was huge and had all these long hallways and staircases. It was nice in a way because we had our own space. And in a way, it was bad because sometimes when you were looking for someone, they were hard to find. The incident happened on a Saturday morning. My sister at the time was 14 years old and I was 12. The rest of our siblings were older and out doing their own things. We had just moved into the home a few weeks prior and we were still unpacking boxes. My sister had her room mostly unpacked, but there were some boxes still sitting in the corner that we hadn't opened yet. It was about 9 and I remember thinking how quiet the house was. Everyone was either out or still sleeping. For some reason, I decided to knock on my sister's door. I remember knocking and hearing a voice inside say, "Come in." So I did. At first, I didn't know why she had called me. She sat up on her bed and looked like she was crying. But when she saw me, her face quickly changed. I asked her if she was okay and if I could help her with something. She said yes, but then just kind of looked away. I don't really know what it was, but felt wrong to be in there, so I started to leave. As I was leaving, she stopped me and said, "Can you stay in here with me for a little while?" I thought maybe someone had bullied her at school or something, so I agreed. We sat in silence for a bit until she finally started talking. She told me how she had seen something really scary in the bathroom. She said she had been brushing her teeth and staring at her reflection in the mirror. All of a sudden, she noticed another girl standing behind her. She described the girl as wearing a long white nightgown and having long black hair. She said the girl had pale skin and was really tall. My sister was scared because she had never seen this girl before. But then the girl in the mirror smiled at her and waved. That's when my sister screamed and ran out of the bathroom. I listened to her story and tried to think of any logical explanation. At first, I thought maybe she had just seen one of our other sisters in an old nightgown, but none of them wore nightgowns. Then I thought maybe she had seen a ghost, but we didn't have any ghosts in our family. My sister started crying again and told me she was scared and wanted to call Mom. I told her we should probably ask Dad first since he was in charge. But as soon as we walked out the front door, I knew my sister had made the biggest mistake of her life. I won't describe exactly what happened, but when my dad came home, he lost his mind. He was always strict and yelled at us a lot, but this time he was different. He took my sister to the bathroom and told her to get over it. He called her a liar and said no one was going to believe her story. He said that if she had seen a ghost, then she needed to get over it and stop being such a baby. He was mad at me too, because I hadn't stopped her from calling him. He told me I should have known better than to let her call him. He said I should have been more of a man and stopped her from doing that. I didn't understand what he was saying. I was only 12 years old, and all I wanted to do was protect my sister. But Dad didn't care. He sent me to my room and locked the door. I heard him yelling at my sister in the bathroom, and then he went downstairs. I don't know what he was doing down there, but I heard him talking on the phone for a while. After he hung up, he came back upstairs and went to my room. I knew he was coming towards my door, so I closed my eyes and pretended to sleep. When he got closer, I could hear him getting more upset. He kicked at my door and started screaming. "Wake up, you dirty animal. Why did you do this? You ruined everything." I opened my eyes and stared at him. He was furious. He grabbed me by my shirt and yanked me out of bed. "Why did you make me come home early? This was supposed to be our special day," he screamed. "You ruined it all." I was scared. I asked him what he was talking about, but he didn't answer. He slapped me across the face and said, "Clean yourself up, we're leaving." I was confused, but cleaned myself up anyway. When I came out, Dad was gone along with my mom and my sister. I didn't know where they went, but I wasn't allowed to ask. We drove for a while until we got to an isolated area outside of town. Dad parked the car and told me to get out. He said, "You need to walk home alone. Your mom and sister don't want you to come with them anymore." I didn't understand what he was saying, but I knew I was scared. I started walking along the road until I saw a familiar face. It was one of my older brothers. When he saw me, he stopped his car and asked what I was doing there. I told him Dad made me walk home alone. He looked at me for a moment and then said, "I'll drive you home." When we got home, I ran to my room and locked the door. I didn't understand why Dad was acting that way. I didn't do anything wrong. Later that day, one of my other sisters knocked on my door. She asked me if I knew what was going on. I told her what Dad had said, but she didn't seem surprised. She said, "You're lucky to be alive. Don't ever go against Dad again." And with that, she closed the door. That's when it hit me. I realized my dad had killed my sister. He didn't want anyone to know, so he made me watch him do it. But I didn't tell anyone what I saw because if I did, then they would kill me too. So I kept quiet and pretended nothing had happened. But after that, things were never the same. Every time I looked in a mirror, I saw my dad standing behind me. And every time I turned around, he was there smiling. It's been 20 years since that day, but I still see him in my nightmares. If you experience something similar, please reach out for help. Now, with that said, the news is full of stories of evil parents who harm their own children. Here's one such story that will shock you. A teenage girl found dead in her bedroom had been smothered by her mother, who later posted a disturbing video online. The disturbing video shows 19-year-old Ava Ernzen lying motionless in her bed with a pillow over her face. Her mother, 43-year-old Tiffany Ernzen, filmed the video after smothering her daughter to death. She then posted the clip on Facebook with the caption, "I think I killed my daughter. Please help." But instead of waiting for help to arrive, Tiffany got rid of the evidence. She cleaned up the scene and put Ava's body in a storage container. What's worse is that this wasn't an accident. Tiffany had planned to kill her daughter for months. She even wrote, "I can't wait to kill my daughter" on Facebook, but why would she do such a thing? Well, it turns out that Tiffany suffered from mental illness and was obsessed with the occult. She believed that killing her daughter would make her famous and give her powers. When the police found out about the video, they immediately went to Tiffany's house. They arrested her and charged her with murder. She's now in jail where she'll spend the rest of her life. As for Ava, she'll never be able to rest in peace knowing that her own mother did this to her. Now, this is a really sad case, but it's also a reminder to be aware of the warning signs of mental illness. If you're someone you know is struggling, please reach out for help. There are resources available and things can get better.